And we're live.
Barely.
Good morning.
Barely. Good morning, Nita. So I think the moral of the story is what? Don't try to get off sugar and nicotine at the same time.
Or maybe go for the gold, man. Just knock all the bad habits out all at once.
That's true. It could go either way, right?
Yes. And speaking of bad habits, good morning, everyone. It is Monday. May 29th.
Ew, it's Monday, but it's a holiday. It's, today, although for freelancers like us, holidays don't mean anything. But,
not
but happy Memorial Day, everybody. I hope your weekend is going really well, and you're going to be enjoying some barbecue later or something. Something. At least it's a beautiful day here. The first of what is it? Today's like kind of like the unofficial first day of summer.
Something like that.
But it still is a Monday, though. So
yes, Monday, May 29th, 2023. I forgot the year. I don't know why it matters.
I can't believe it's the 29th. So already, it's like we're already like a couple of days halfway through the year.
Hey, guess what?
What?
4 months.
4 months.
Yes, and I'll be in your house, Daphne.
Oh, that's true. Yes.
Totally stalk you. Oh my gosh, you ready for this shit?
Absolutely not, but hit it.
All right. Oh, I'm an idiot. Never mind.
No, yeah, I know exactly.
You know what? You know what? Fuck it. Get your Gemini mailers, mail your books, so that they arrive not beat up, not in shit condition, and the postal workers have a difficult time destroying your shit. And anyway, whatever. I'm done.
Excellent.
I'm not even trying.
Excellent.
Yeah. Get your shit together.
Exactly. It is Monday. It's Monday. It's a holiday. Nita's nerves are on edge because she's detoxing right now. Doctor's orders, though, everybody's pretty much doing a variation of it,
God, if y'all just knew how sweaty my palms were.
Oh my goodness.
It's gross.
Knees weak. Palms are sweaty.
I'm sweater already. No.
Oh my goodness! So who's joining us today in the chat?
So far we have Efrain, Allison, Patrick, Joseph. Let's see, Patrick again, and Stormwolf.
Hello, Michael. Hello. Yeah, it's like because we all know being a holiday, we definitely know everyone has nothing to do today. And yes, I see you, the 10 people next to the giant eyeball on my screen watching us from regions beyond. Welcome to another episode of whatever this is, the Ragin' to the Vlogs show, where we just talk about whatever it is that pops into our head. And if you are watching from Facebook, if you're watching from Twitter, come on over to YouTube. Join the sexy people in the chat. Facebook has a tendency to act up, and Twitter doesn't even allow us to see your comments. So if you want to engage in whatever nonsense we're talking about, the chat here on YouTube is the best place to do it. So come on over. So before Efrain rings the bell, reminding me to do intros, let me just set myself up here. And yes, so hello, everyone. My name is Daphne Lage, and I'm a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. I have been publishing comics, self-publishing comics, since 1992, and you know what that means.
Valar Morghulis.
Valar Duhairis.
And I am known for the furry fantasy adventure Tall Tales, returning to Kickstarter this Friday already. Tall Tales, or so I thought, the very first full color Tall Tales one shot for the first time. I have never done a full color Tall Tales comic before. It's a brand new experience for me. I had a fun time with it, even though it kicked my ass while I was doing it, but still though, I'm really happy the way it came out. So Friday launching Tall Tales, or so I thought. Link is in the show notes below so that you can hit the notify me button on Kickstarter to get notified the second the campaign goes live. And I am also known for my mature audiences slice of life medieval fantasy Eagle Raven Heir of the First Unicorn, which also returns to Kickstarter later on this year with issue 7, which holy shit am I dragging my ass on finishing coloring. There's 12 more pages to go. I've already mentioned every time I hit near the end of finishing a book, it's like I hit this, it's like hitting mile 23 on a marathon. They say that, it's easy until mile 23. And then at 23, that's when your marathon actually starts. So that's what it feels like. But coming summer 2023, issue 7, Eagle Raven, Kickstarter, links below. To the website, actually, because this doesn't have a launch page yet. And in the meantime, you can read both my comics online at Tall Tales Online. That's TAILS online.com. And eagleworks.com, EGOWORKS. And you can check out all my videos on how I make my comics here on YouTube at my channel at Daphne Lage, LAGER, which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. And to tell you more about that, if she's able to, here is Nita.
My name is Nita Lanning. I am a writer, vlogger, blogger from Southeast Louisiana, and I am the producer of the Indie Comics Network, which is just like, in layman's terms, means my Google account owns the YouTube channel.
Yes, exactly.
It's not a fucking business. It's just people.
Know.
It's me and my friends and fuck the world. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
It's that simple. I know sometimes we tend to forget. We say the word network and people confuse us with CNN. And it's like, no, we're just two dumb bitches on YouTube.
That's it.
That's it. It's not that complicated.
No.
You take what we see. You listen to what we say. You take it or leave it. Oh my goodness. So yes, speaking of Tall Tales, I just want to make sure that I show this off to everybody. So yes, like I said, the campaign launches on Friday for Tall Tales, or so I thought. This is the exact proof. I got these from the printer the other day. I'm really happy with it. As you can see, it is a perfect bound book, which matches perfectly with all of the rest of the trade paperbacks. So if you have trade paperbacks, everything is going to be all nice and matchy because I
like Jose like.
Yeah, exactly. It's like that's what I love. And so as you can see, it is in full color. And this is the first time I've ever done a Tall Tales book in full color. And it was an interesting experience because it required a little bit more a different thought process than when I color Eagle Raven, and I learned a lot by doing this book. And so I'm just really happy to finally, I re-lettered it and everything. So I'm just really happy with this came out. As you can see, the book is done. So when the campaign launches on Friday, you can be sure that you will get this book, just like with all my other campaigns, in an on time, if before on time, early, very timely fashion. You are not waiting a year and a half, 2 years for a book from me to be released after the pledge to the Kickstarter. Once the Kickstarter ends, I send the book to the printers, and within a couple of weeks, I start shipping these bad boys out
in cardboard mailers.
Yes, in proper cardboard mailers. Yes. So I'm just very happy that we're able to launch the campaign still with. But didn't you think they would have a partial image that formed? Oh, the spines. No, you see, because what it is that I really like wraparound covers. So the spines don't quite allow me to do that, or at least my OCD won't allow me to do that because it breaks up the wraparound. But I know exactly what you mean by that.
I know that is a hard concept to
I-
grasp, Allison, and so many of these guys can't get their brain wrapped around it.
I know.
But yes,
yes,
absolutely.
exactly. I finish the work. I make sure to finish the work before we kickstart. I know it's like Nita said, it's a concept a lot of people have a hard time with, and it's like, well, that's
It's poor shaming.
I know. Well, you know what? If you're too broke to do comics properly, maybe you shouldn't be doing it. Maybe this is just not for you. So, there you go. Starting off on a note.
Well, that's an Aries fire burning.
So let's see. So I have a couple of I actually had so many thoughts in my brain that I had to write it down just to me. But of course, being my brain, yes, this is what crazy looks like. I have all my notes, but something else reminded me that I want to talk about this too, because I don't think that I showed these off. So I know that I spoke a while ago about buying art books from Japan, how to draw manga and all that stuff. So I had gotten several more books that I'm not sure if I ever showed these off. So I buy these from a Japanese reseller on eBay. And these are, so as you can see, these are actual books from Japan. And these are a book of 500 poses. Please excuse the airline sounds. We're literally 20 minutes away from LaGuardia Airport, so you can hear it all here. So these are my latest art books. So one is 500 poses, like girl poses, and this one is 500 boy poses. And I thought that it was just like too good of a reference to just not get. So of course, so this is the 500 boy poses, and like most of the books that I'm getting, they all come with a CD with all the poses in it. So you see, nice. So it's all like a lot of just like very just varied poses of characters doing whatever. And the idea, because of the CD, is that you're supposed to, I guess, drop them into whatever program that you're using, like Clip Studio Paint, and just work off of the poses, like literally just work on top of them. Like it's literally an asset book.
That is fucking cool.
Yeah, I know. So it's like, and like I said, they do all these varied poses or whatnot. Now, of course, it's like, just flipping through this, like for me, tracing directly wouldn't work for me because these characters are like too skinny and too tall. I don't know. I tend to draw kind of like more like squat.
Daphne likes them thick.
Yeah. All right. But yeah, so this I had gotten off of eBay, and this is the like I said, the 500 poses, girl poses. Again, it comes with where's the CD? It comes with a CD, and then again, it's all these varied poses that you could just technically draw on top of, but of course, adjust when necessary. When you can. So so I thought that these were like just pretty fun books that I didn't remember whether I ever talked about.
There was a begging pose in there.
Yeah. Oh, of course there are. Of course they are. It's kind of like that weird chibi, how to draw chibis book that has an entire questionable section I can't really show on screen.
Look, man.
It's well,
a tuna can does a lot more than a hose pipe, Patrick.
I mean, yeah. Well, speaking of that, I would like to thank everybody who showed up for House of Bob on Saturday night. Thank you so much for joining us. We had a really good, really productive time. If for those of you who missed it, I showed off an animation program that I'm using called Hunk that I'm using to create a kind of like to create PNG tubers, which is a 2D version of VTubers. And it's like I show off the program, give an overview, and I start creating a character for that purpose. And yeah, and you get to see the whole process of me trying to figure out like how to do this character. What's the character going to look like? I'd like to thank Afrain again for his input in helping us with the character. You see, which is why you should always join us in the chat, because sometimes it's like the chat comes up with ideas that I'm not thinking of, you know, that just completely goes over my head, and the chat catches it. So yeah, so catch that on the replay. Remember that it is an adults only live stream. I end up showing a lot of like adult artwork on those streams. So you have to be 18 and older. You have to be signed in. You have to be age verified to see it. However, if you are interested in the program Hunk, I actually uploaded a snippet from the episode where I just talk about Honk, and anybody can watch that video so that you can see like what it does, how I made the Oswald puppet that I used on last Monday's show for the Oswald campaign. And so it's like, yeah, so there's a short video that I put up on my channel and on the Indie Comics Network that explains the program if it's something that maybe you guys would want to utilize. I think it's a very fun program. It's less intimidating than doing like rigging on an actual VTuber, although the concepts are kind of the same, but it's at a much more a kind of like a basic level that at least somebody, you know, like me can like easily grasp the concept and work with it. It took me all of Sunday to make that Oswald puppet that I used on last Monday's show. So just to give you an idea of kind of like it is something that if you're kind of already familiar with the principles, animation principles and the basics, you can kind of pick up this program really quickly. So check that out in on our playlists as well on our channels. Yeah. So speaking of also of that show, I was showing off some variant covers on the House of Bob, and you know I also want to share the love here, but of course it's like I could only show the basic covers that I'm working on right now. Like I said, I've been extremely busy these past couple of months, weeks, days, you know, and I'm working, like I said, I'm working on finishing Eager Raven issue 7, and I'm also working at the same time on the Eager Raven one-shot that I'm working on, the Conan parody of the Unicorn King's Daughter. And just the other day, I just finished another variant cover for that campaign. So I'm, like I said, I'm slowly working on 2 campaigns at the same time. So for those of you who missed it, for those of you who don't follow me on Facebook, this is a brand new variant cover that's going to be available on that campaign coming later on this year, somewhere around fall 2023. So look at my beautiful son, Werewolf Loki, on that cover. I just had to do it. It just was something that popped into my head, and it's like, you know what? That's kind of the beauty of me being able to just do my own work and not having to pay for people to do it, because I could do it myself. Is that if I think of a variant cover, within 3 hours, I have a new variant cover for the campaign. So if you're into collecting my artwork and you like variant covers, as always, all my variant covers will be available as a regular edition, a virgin edition. It doesn't have the trade dress on it, so you just look at you can just see the artwork. Comes in a hollow edition and a silver outline edition. It's just my pen and ink on silver paper, which is just absolutely beautiful. I just love the way these covers come out. So this is the latest one for that campaign, the Unicorn King's Daughter. And oh, thank you, Patrick. Thank you. Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah,
you know we can't.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, you know we can't show that picture. If you want to see, yes, there is a variant cover. There is a variant version of this cover. Unfortunately, if you want to see it, you have to go watch House of Bob, Saturday's House of Bob, to see the variant cover on this. I am just sharing this piece with those of us who, you know, are not into like seeing, you know, House of Bob, or for some reason you can't or whatnot. So I just want to show it off, and also for people who are not following me on Facebook. So yeah, if you want to see the other version of this cover, go ahead and catch House of Bob from yesterday. No, Saturday. Today's Monday. For a split second I thought it was Sunday again.
What the hell are we doing live on a Sunday, Daphne?
Yeah, I know, really. You know, but here's the thing. So I did this variant cover. Okay, so maybe everyone can help me with something here. So I did this variant cover, and the thing is, though, I have 2 more variant covers that I'm finishing for this campaign. I figure once I'm done with these 2 covers, that's it. There's a lot of variant covers on this campaign that I'm doing, and let me show you, give everyone an idea as to what this campaign is going to look like once it goes live. So I started making a menu for the variant covers that I'm going to have for this campaign. Now, the Unicorn King's Daughter is going to be it's a 2 comic set campaign. It's the Unicorn King's Daughter, which is the Conan parody book. And then for those of you who are not into who want something a little bit more safe for work, then we have Tales from the Outer Kingdoms, which is a collection of all the short stories that have appeared in previous campaigns as stretch goals. And now they're all collected. They're going to be collected in one issue so far of what I have. Once I get enough short stories together, I'm going to collect them all in one trade. But for now, we're putting out individual issues. So as you can see, the cover for this particular book is going to have, like I said, the Virgin, the Hollow, and the Silver edition along with the main cover. So this particular one just has one, has the one cover set. But as we go down the list, so here is the main cover for the other book, The Unicorn King's Daughter. So this is the parody book. So as you can see, they all have the same covers, and depending on which cover you get is what you're paying depending on what the cover is. Now, here's the thing, though. So then I started adding all the extra variants that I was putting in. So here is one of the previous variants that I've showed off on the show before. So this one is, again, a special, it's just an alternate cover to the same book, Unicorn King's Daughter. You can get it you can get it, in these variants as well, including a nude variant, which is technically this one's my favorite. This one's my favorite too. I really do. I actually printed out one, and I have one hanging in my office here. So I have this variant cover. Now, already, for those of you who could do math really quickly, already we're talking 4, 8, 12, right? 16 variant covers, right? But the problem is this isn't the only cover. So now you have this cover, right? Which is coming with the other variants.
Yes, it
right?
is.
It's coming with this variant. You have this. And then, of course, you have the other variant, which has another 4 covers. And then it's like, and then we're not done yet. So
but wait, there's more.
We also have the adult-only supplement, the actual medieval unicorn Viking slut supplement, which I've decided is going to be another separate short. This is going to be another short story. It's not connected to the other story, but it's going to be another parody, but it's going to be a full-on porn parody. The other one is more like more like a soft R rating. This one is going to be the X-rated one for everybody who wants to buy that separately. It's going to be its own story. So as you can see, we have the 4 covers for that. And then, of course, there's the nude version that also has another 4 covers, right? And I'm not done yet. Like I said, there's 2 more covers that I'm working on to complete the whole set of all these variant covers. And here's my question. And mind you, there might be one more too. as well. There might be one more because I don't know. It's like, it depends on how Jaden is feeling about this project. We don't know if we're going to get a Jaden cover or not. I would like one, but it depends on what her schedule is looking like. She's becoming quite the artist to go to nowadays. But so now I have all these covers and I'm not done yet. And the question is like, am I overreaching? Is it too much? At what point is it too many covers?
At the point nobody buys any of them.
Okay. All right. I think that's fair enough. Because it's like, I've seen some campaigns where it's like all they offer is just the, yeah, exactly. Thank you. I didn't think that we had to tell everybody, to remind everybody that it's like all information that we give is a combination of literally our opinions and what we've experienced firsthand. And we're just passing the information along. Where I by no means consider myself an expert on anything. And also your mileage may vary. Things that work for me may not work for you. Things that work for you might not even work for me. So
what might be right for you might not be right for some. It's the facts of life, bitches.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like I didn't think that I needed to explain that, but you know what? It's like whatever.
We have to explain everything.
Really. So it's like so here I am trying to figure out this campaign, and it's like, and I was beginning to get a little worried. Like chat, like when you see a campaign with this many variant covers, is it a turnoff? Do you like the artwork? Is it all about the artwork? Like, it's like, well, as long as I like the cover, I'm going to buy a book. It's like, because after this menu is done, I don't know if I want to put it up on my campaign like this, because it's a lot. Like, it's literally going to be its own scroll on the campaign before you even hit the actual scroll that explains the book and whatnot. Yes, thank you.
We absolutely have to explain shit.
Yeah.
We got to cunt-splain.
Yeah, exactly. Really. Yeah, I like that word. So as you can see, this is the cover that if you want to see the uncensored version of it, you have to watch House of Bob to see it. But yes, I'm very pleased with this cover, I might say. I make beautiful sons.
Morning, Mark.
Good morning. Good morning. So, what did he say? What about the ice cream?
He said it's like going to the ice cream store, too many flavors to choose from.
Right, but you eventually do choose a flavor, don't you?
Absolutely, clickbait. You're here, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but you do choose a flavor eventually. So
Morning, Joe.
Yeah, good morning. And so that was just my concern. So I guess, can everybody agree that it's like it's only too many covers if nobody buys them?
That's it. I mean, seriously.
Right. Because it's like I'm getting a little self-conscious about this, looking at this list. So, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep going the way my original plan was. Finish the other two images, and then, in the end, it's like this campaign, The Unicorn King's Daughter, is an experiment where I'm taking everything that I'm learning from so many places about like Kickstarter, what does well on Kickstarter, and this, that, and everything. Oh, thank you, Joseph, thank you. And pretty much I'm putting it together in this one campaign to see, it's like, okay, what works, what really doesn't work, what really actually works. And you know what? It's like, look, for a project that started off as a joke, thank you. If for a project that started off as a joke on Facebook, I'm having a blast with this. It got
serious real quick.
It got serious really quick. Oh, because I also showed off the first 8 pages of the comic, also on House of Bob as well. So if you want to see a preview of the actual pages, which unfortunately you guys won't really be seeing until I'm close to finishing it, and even then, only until it's actually, fulfilled, you guys will actually see pages. I'll give previews and stuff, but like I said, this particular project, Unicorns King Daughter, is it's kind of not safe for work. So, and the supplement, and the supplement is definitely going to be not safe for work.
Oh, okay.
So, so it's not, so I can only give previews, but if you want to see those first 6 pages, as I'm working on them. Yeah, you know what? I like that. The campaign's not right unless it has 31 flavors.
Oh my gosh.
So okay, so I'm feeling a little better about this then. Everybody seems to like the idea. I guess, you know what? You guys really like the covers, you like the images. So I guess as long as you guys like the images, the variants are kind of like, you guys are going to buy what you're going to buy.
Look,
right?
No, whether one sells, well, I mean, I'm sure more than one will sell, but if there's one that doesn't, here's the deal: you're the fucking artist, so you're not out anything anyway. So
well, that's true. It's
like good for you.
Yeah, so it's like no matter what happens, I'm
now these guys that pay $400 to $600 for a cover,
right?
With 0 backers, right? Sucks to be them, but
exactly. I mean, because here, no matter what happens, I have all this cool ass artwork that I can still do stuff with for later. So, okay. So at least, so I don't feel. Yes, I know. It's very luxurious. Very luxurious. So okay. So at least I don't feel so bad about it. So so thank you everybody in the chat. You see, that's why I like to talk to the chat as well, because everybody, like I said, it's like everybody puts in their 2 cents that I can use as well. So the other thing that is on my notes here, because I'm trying to keep track of all the thoughts in my brain. So last night, Jose, yesterday, Sunday. Jose had his show where they were talking about AI again, and because of the whole writer strike. I mean, a huge foundation of that strike is about AI, and of course, there has been the lawsuits that are against the companies are kind of really moving through. What happened is that the European Union, I was reading about how the European Union is really pushing for some from regulations. We're saying that these companies have to disclose their sources. They have to disclose the source of what they train the AIs on. And the companies are like going, we can't do that. If we have to do that, we can't work in the European Union. And it's like, okay. So what happens is that those same regulations are showing up in the lawsuits in the United States as well. They're saying you have to disclose your sources for what you trained the AI on. And again, these venture capitalists are all whining, but it's like, oh, if we disclose our sources, it's going to open us up for lawsuits because we know what we did was against copyright law, illegal to copyright law. And it's like, yeah, bitch, that's the point. It's like, we want you to reveal your sources on how you trained your AI.
And once that becomes mandated, then you need to guess what you need to do.
Right.
You're gonna have to pay your sources.
Right. Exactly. Especially since I forgot the name of the program. There is a program online where if you put in an AI piece into the program, it will tell you which original pieces were scraped.
Oh, that app has been great.
Yeah. Which original pieces and the artists, because it's like also the artists can go in and put in their credits as well, so that which pieces were actually scraped to make the AI image.
Right.
And so it's not like they don't know or they can't figure it out. They know exactly what they did. So what happened was, like, during this conversation, someone had made kind of a very ignorant remark, although they were talking about somebody else. that I guess a friend of theirs was using AI, and that they were claiming that they considered the artwork theirs as long as they changed 10% of the
No, that's not
piece.
how that works.
Yeah, that's, you see, and that's the kind of the thing that's not how it works.
That gets you by on plagiarism.
Well, you see, but here's the funny thing, though, because
art is different.
You know, because it's like I still remember I was in this this Facebook group. It was for like art anime. It was mostly specialized in anime artist alley, but what it is that people were sharing information on how to get, like, which companies do like keychains and stuff like that, you know, kind of like making products, but it was mostly for artist alley. And this conversation kind of popped up about, you know, it's like, oh, you know, it's like, this is my artwork and this, that, and the other thing. That is like, you know, because a lot of anime artist alley, especially, that they've been blocked. Like, you're not allowed to, if you can only sell your original artwork, not infringements. Right. And what happens, like, a lot of these kids, because in the end it's what they were saying that as long as it was your artwork, like, you could do like Naruto artwork, but as long as it was your artwork, it was okay. And I had come in and I go, no, it's not. Your own artwork is your own artwork. You know, but if you're using somebody else's character in your artwork, that's infringement.
Right.
And you would have thought I had said something.
Did they come try to cut your throat?
Oh my God.
Here come the pitchforks.
I was dogpiled by so many 16-year-olds. It was a category on Pornhub. I mean, it was bad. I had to leave the group because, like, you know what? I have a rule. I have two rules. One, never launch a Kickstarter without finishing your book first. And two, never argue with children on the internet.
Huh.
Two. 1, 2. I did it twice there. So never argue with children on the internet. So it's like, okay, this, you know, it's like everyone's saying fair use, gray, you know, there's a gray area, this, that, and the other thing or whatever. And I was really thinking, and of course it reminded me again, you know, of the right. Well, that's right. Exactly. It's like, well, and here's the thing. So, you know, so I was thinking about it because of this stupid comment that I saw on Jose's thing. And I go, you know what? Isn't it funny how infringers always talk about fair use the same way creepy older guys talk about age of consent laws? Huh. It's like a complete misunderstanding of what the law is. So I looked it up. So this 10%. And I hate to break it to everybody, but guess what? You're not the one that gets to choose what 10% of that artwork is transformative. According to copyright. Okay, so here it is. So the 10% rule is a part of a set of guidelines agreed upon by educators and publishers that never became law. However, it can be used as a useful guide to determine if an amount exceeds fair use. But one should bear in mind that to exceed 10% won't automatically mean that the courts will look askance at the use. Neither will using 10% or less always guarantee that an instance is deemed fair use. Instead, a careful fair use analysis should always be conducted. And then increasingly, when looking at the 4 factors of fair use, courts are, and here's the thing, courts, it's not you that decides how much is 10% on that artwork you're transforming. It's the courts that decide that. A judge decides if you are infringing and not infringing. And here's the thing, whatever, even if you're like doing some fan art that you're selling at a convention, it is only because you haven't got caught, not because it's okay to do it. So always remember that. So it says here, okay, the courts are prioritizing the first factor with regard to what is known as transformative use. What is a transformative use? It is an alteration of the original work to a new purpose and new meaning. More precisely, transformative uses are those that add something new with a further purpose or different character and do not substitute for the original use of the work. A classic case of transformative use is parody. Even though a significant portion of the original work is used, the character and purpose is dramatically altered. But again, this is for a court to make that distinction, not the individual person. You can't just come out and says, well, I changed 10% of the artwork, so it's mine. Again, that's not how it works. If a company or if another artist decides to sue you, they are within their rights to do that.
Yeah, they would.
Yeah. You know, and the thing is, though, and conventions have cracked down.
They're starting
that's
to
the
even
thing.
harder.
Now, here's the funny thing. There's a fair use checklist,
Uh-oh.
right? So what's considered fair use is teaching, including having multiple copies for classroom use, research, scholarship, nonprofit educational institution, criticism, comment, news reporting, transformative or productive use. That means that changes the work for a new utility, restricted access to students or other appropriate group, and parody. What is not fair use? Commercial activity is the first thing on the list.
Whoops.
So there is no gray area. So if you're at a convention and selling fan art, you cannot claim fair use. The fact that you are selling the piece already means you are infringing. So it doesn't matter. Again, it's the court that decides what your infringement is. You don't decide. It's like, oh, I use 10%. Doesn't matter. You know, so so it's like here, this is the checklist. What is not fair use? Commercial activity, profiting from the use, entertainment, bad faith behavior,
Which I don't get, because that could be parody too.
Well, parody, I mean, but again, that's for the court to decide.
Exactly. It's very complicated.
And denying credit to the original author.
Right.
You know, so, you know, I just really had to clear the air with that, because the comment really pissed me off. Like I said, because it reminded me of those girls in that forum. And also, yeah, it's like, you know what? Yeah, it's like, it's a bad faith argument. Well, I changed it to 10%. You know, no, you did shit. You did shit. That's what it boils down to, you know? Yeah, no. I stopped doing that. I stopped doing fan art myself. I mean, one, because it's like, I didn't appreciate the people that it was attracting. You know, that there was no real conversion for me from the fan art to my original work. So it wasn't worth it for me to spend that time.
Right.
Again, your mileage may vary. Yeah. And also it's just like, it was more, yeah, it's like, you know what, why am I going to spend time wasting my time drawing Deadpool when I could draw another Werewolf Loki piece? So priorities, people, priorities. So yeah, so I just had to bring that up with the AI. But one more thing about AI, though, this one actually disappointed me. I was so sad when I saw this. So I ended up with a Facebook ad, and I'm still getting them. So it's like, so I'm always on the lookout for different books and whatnot on Kickstarter, especially like illustrated novels, to kind of see, like, you know, what people are doing on Kickstarter with illustrated novels. Yeah, I actually it was more like 20 minutes before the stream. It was actually 20 minutes, although technically I did start thinking about it last night. So maybe you're right. So this book came up on my Facebook feed, which of course hit all my buttons. You know,
not the good ones.
It was yeah, all the good ones.
Oh, the good ones.
All the good ones. Yeah. So it was another yeah, it's another monsters and the girls who love them type of thing. You know. So it was another series of books. I remember a couple of episodes ago, I talked about Bonkers Romance, which that they were doing these, like also like these monsters and monster girls and monster boys, monster boyfriends, monster girlfriends type of book, and with illustrations and whatnot. And another book came up, and already it's like I'm going, oh, cool, another series that I could look at. The problem was when I started looking at it, I already kind of got my hackles up. Like something was very strange about this campaign, which is on Kickstarter, which is currently on Kickstarter. And I'm not going to say the name of it or show anything because in the end, I don't think it deserves it. And I started, the artwork immediately caught my attention, but then I started catching my attention in the wrong way. And sure enough, very quickly I realized this is AI. All the illustrations on the campaign is AI. And sure enough, 6 fingers, man. I mean, it's like really, it's like you would think for something that people have been outright saying AI does not know how to do, that people who actually use AI in their advertising would figure out how to fix it, but they don't. Like the wonky eye is still there. The 6 fingers are still there in their advertising. And it's like, you know what? Yeah, this is kind of part of the problem where it's like they expect people to just be enamored by the flashiness of the picture and not realize the blatant mistakes that are in them. So, so it's like, and then it's like, okay, none of the images, like they're talking about one story, but none of the images match because it's like they're all different. They all look like different characters because again, unless you prompt it in a certain way, it doesn't give you the same characters over it because it doesn't know how to do that yet. So okay, so already, but I'm kind of still looking at it though, right? So the author also goes under a pseudonym. Unlike Bonkers Romance, where they listed all the authors and all the artists that worked on the book, this entire campaign had one pseudonym and one artist credited whose artwork looked nothing like anything else that was in the campaign. It was very amateurish. It was almost like they had a friend who could oh, can you fake being an artist credit? I know, right?
Allison wants 3 in the pink.
Yeah. No, she's no, because he killed her father, you see.
Oh, Jesus, fuck's sake.
So prepare to die. So they had the one artist that they were crediting on the campaign whose artwork looked nothing like anything on the campaign. Like I said, it was very, very amateurish. Actually, it sounded very similar to another campaign that me and Nita a couple of years ago really side-eyed for a bit. And like there was no other credits on there, and the second I read that even the author was a pseudonym, I'm like going, I'd put money that this is a Chat GPT. That even the prose itself was AI too. That everything on this campaign is AI. And I was very disappointed. In that. And and like I said, I'm not saying who it is. I'm not promoting the campaign at all.
Because fuck them.
Yeah. And then not only that, after looking at their list of campaigns, like this was like their 4th and 5th campaign for this year.
Jesus.
Full novels. And I'm like going, this shit's AI. The whole thing is AI. And because it's like, yeah, it's and it was just very disappointing. Now the only satisfaction that I had was that Bonkers Romance, which, like I said, they credit everybody on their campaign, including all the artists, all the authors that are involved, links to their websites, the whole thing, right? And this one was kind of like just hiding behind you know. Was that the Bonkers Romance when I showed it on the show was making $300,000. They already made like $300,000 plus on their campaign. This one was barely scraping 5,000. And you could tell that this person, you see, this is the thing though, I'm not familiar enough with romance books, with romance fantasy books to know whether there's a standard in formatting or whether the AI author was copying what they were doing. So I wasn't sure about that. So yeah, I know.
Have a cat with that.
Everybody lives in what's his F. Scott Fitzgerald's house. You know, the monsters all live at F. Scott Fitzgerald's house. That's what it is. You know, so it's like, you know, so yeah, so the only saving grace was that with the amount of book campaigns, I mean, yeah, they're slowly creeping up, but not by much. Right. Meanwhile, Bonkers Romance is almost at $500,000 in sales on Kickstarter. So, you know, but the thing is though, it just, like I said, it depressed me because like, yeah, this is what's going to happen. I've already heard that this is what's happening already on Amazon, where it's like, it's being flooded with all of these AI books, you know, people trying to make a quick buck off of AI books and they're drowning out actual authors, you know, but you know, it's like, you know, and it's sad because it's like, you know, AI should have been a really exciting tool for us to use. And instead, you know,
I hope so, because I can't wait to see the followers.
Oh, right. Yeah, I know. Right. You know, it's like AI is supposed to be this very, yeah, look them up. Yeah. Look them up on Kickstarter, Bonkers Romance.
I'll add the link in a little bit.
Yeah. You know, this was supposed to be a really exciting tool, and instead it's turning into a bludgeon, you know, to kind of, you know, it's like using our styles against us, you know, type of thing. And it's very depressing, you know, it's kind of, you know, and the only, and, you know, and this is where the writer's strike comes in. This is where all these lawsuits are coming in. And it's like, this is the only stand we have. You know, and it's like, you know, I mean, you know, this is the thing too, because we have a friend who's also playing around with AI. He's an artist and he's also playing around with AI, but the AI that he's using is closed source. Right. I don't know which one he's using. He's not using any of the open source. Glenn. He's using a closed source one. And what he's doing is that he's putting in his own artwork to teach this closed source AI how to draw exactly like
that's him. Completely different. That's what it should be used. Oh, yeah, okay.
It's like you say, that's the thing, because it's like, because what he wants to do, it's like he wants to train it to do.
But here's the problem.
He kind of has a virtual assistant for his work,
which is fucking awesome, because then he's able to put out more of his own original work. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But the problem comes in is it's so easy for someone to put shit into open source, like sit there and feed it. Like, I don't want to say any names, but you take like an entire series and scan these people's images and create characters based off of their fucking world. Like, their shit.
Well, but that's right. You see, and that's right. So that's why he's using closed source. And, you know, and he literally told, you know, so Jose was asking him questions about, you know, so what is it really like to use AI? And our friend Dave told him, it's like, look, you have so much work from Jade.
That's what I was going to use.
Who was the artist, who's the artist on the Oswald Chronicles. He goes, look, you have so much artwork from Jade. You can put that into a closed source AI and never have to hire her again. And you should have seen the look on Jose's face.
Oh no, the reality finally caught up to somebody.
You know, where it's like, you know, where it's like, it's like that, you know, it's like, it's like, and that's what he's saying. It's like, you could actually do this.
Right.
You know, but And here's the thing that I want everybody to remember about AI. AI is not sentient, okay? In spite of what all these articles, they want you to believe it is, but it's not. All it is predictive AI. That's all it is. It's no different than when Grammarly is saying, well, maybe you meant to write this, or something, or try rewording your sentence this way. That's essentially what it's doing, except it's trying to predict the artwork that you want based on your prompts and based on the artists that you're feeding into it, that you want to copy a style or something. It's not creating anything. It's not sentient. The AI is completely determined on the people who programmed it.
Right.
AI itself is not unethical. The people who programmed it are.
Right.
The people who said, we are going to go behind firewalls and go into all these private galleries online to take that artwork that we want to feed it into this AI. They know what they did. That's why the whole revealing their sources thing, that's why they're sweating. Because if they reveal that, yes, we stole they've already admitted that they've stolen the artwork. What it is that they're trying to evade the consequences of that.
Right. Because once they name names, guess what?
Right, exactly. It's like, and other programmers have already proven, we know who you stole from. The fact that you're using actual naming, like actual artist names as prompts means that you know who you stole from. I was just reading an article on Liechtenstein, and there's a new documentary coming out. Let's see, what's it called? I have the article here. It's called Wham Blam, Roy Lichtenstein and the Art of Appropriation. And it's a documentary not about Lichtenstein, but about the artists he stole from. So Lichtenstein, for those who don't know, he was the guy who did all these kind of like pop art paintings based on comic book panels, right? And this one guy thought that, it's like that what he was going to do is that he was going to trace back all of Lichtenstein's portraits, all paintings, to the original comic book panels that he took them from. Because all these years, Lichtenstein kept claiming he didn't know where any of this artwork came from. He just used them. It's like, oh, he didn't know that he was plagiarizing or whatnot. He always denied it, and the estate still denies it, right? So this guy decided that he was going to trace the provenance of all Lichtenstein's artwork. And he thought maybe, it's like, oh, maybe it was like 2 or 3 artists that Lichtenstein, appropriated from. Turned out to be 300 individual artists that Lichtenstein literally took their artwork, blew them up onto a canvas, and made millions, while all these artists pretty much retired impoverished. So this is what the documentary is about. So you see, it's like, so here you have one guy who made it a mission to trace back the original artwork to the original artists. I mean, a lot of them are still alive. They spent their entire careers. One of them was saying how he got paid $4 to do the panel that Lichtenstein made 20 million on. And it's like even the typographer, the Blam and whatnot, even that guy is still alive going, I designed that. And the thing is, though, there have been several, I don't know if there hasn't been any lawsuits, because in the end, all the creators were saying that it's like, everything is owned by the comic book companies. And even though there is enough proof that what Lichtenstein was doing was infringement, it's not worth it for them to sue. It's like the amount of money that they would have to spend against the estate and whatnot, it's not worth it, so they don't do it. But but the thing is, though, is like the option is still there.
Right.
So that's why they're doing this documentary, and the thing is, so it's like, so to say, so the venture capitalists that own these companies saying that it's like we don't want to reveal our sources, we don't want to reveal exactly how we did our crime, we just don't want consequences for it. It's like, no, you are going to get consequences. And I really do hope that's what happens. I mean, I can only hope.
You got to use them.
Yeah. Thank you. You see, it's like, look, you see, this is the thing. I mean, it's like, sometimes I need to be reminded why I do this. It's like I work hard on these books, and it's like, it's like, what, in the end, it's like, am I personally worried about AI? Not really. Right? Because you know what? People who do their shit on AI is not going to have people doing that.
Right.
Is not going to have people going, I absolutely adore your work. Thank you.
But you know what? Here's the sad fact, Daphne. I'm going to burst your bubble. Yeah, they do.
Huh?
They do.
They say that to AI.
I've seen it on them stupid fucking AI chats.
Well,
the one where the chicks were fighting that I posted on my profile the other day. Yeah. Like, oh, well, you stole my art and didn't give me credit, bitch. It was never your art to begin with. But anyway, yeah. If you I scroll through their page and they're like, oh, I love your work. It's like, bitch, that's not even their work.
Right. Well, here's the thing. Those are not the people I want.
No,
those are people.
We want Michael Floyd. We love Michael.
Yeah, we love Michael Floyd. Yes, we do, because he actually read the work.
Yes,
I think so too. I think so too. Because here's the funny thing: the more something becomes common, the less it's looked on.
Right.
That's the thing. So it's like you have all these wannabes, trying to use AI to get some sort of prestige that they resent artists for having. And in the end, what they're really doing is making us more valuable. It's like, because I always imagine, going to a convention in the future, everybody has AI, but is doing AI artwork. But the one person who has all the crowd around them is the person drawing in a sketchbook.
Right.
And it's like, it's like, I can only envision a really petty future for us. It's kind of like, right. Yeah, exactly. I agree. I think that, like I said, it's a tool, and it's upsetting that the tool is not in a position right now where I feel comfortable using it.
Right.
So what happens in the future, I don't know. It's like, I mean, it's like, yes, the genie's out of the bottle. AI exists, this exists, but It doesn't mean we have to lay down and take it. It doesn't mean that we have to just, no, really, that, no, I know. Lie back and think of England. It's like, it doesn't mean that I have to sit back and literally watch our industry fall to pieces.
No.
Passively. I mean, will it happen anyway? Most likely, because we've already seen it happen in publishing in the last 15 years, 20 years. And that's exactly what's going to happen on our end. But it doesn't mean that we're just going to sit back and let it happen.
No, it just means you got to be better.
Yeah, it just means that you got to be more human.
Right.
That's the thing. It's like, because here's the thing too. AI is extremely limited because the whole point of AI is that there's no humans involved. There's no passion in the artwork. There's no struggle in the artwork. There's no horniness in the artwork. There's no nothing in the artwork. Exactly. It's mass produced. It's just a paste. It's turning artwork into a paste where the average person won't care that it has 6 fingers and 137 teeth. It's like, it's true. It's turning everything into a gray paste. But then what happens when you eat something with a little flavor? Right? It's like, that's what's going, and that's really what it is. Like I always said, we have to, you want to survive AI, you have to out-human it.
Right.
It's like do messy artwork, really like, it's like, show me your struggles, show me your passions, show me your
Embrace
heart.
those flaws.
Yeah, embrace the flaws, because it's, what's funny, the flaws are going to be even more important now.
They're real.
I mean, it's because it's going to be, it's getting a thumbprint on a painting.
Right.
It's like it's more important now to show how human you are. You are not a robot. You are a being with emotions and passions and excitement. And I mean, again, it's like talking about AI always makes me go into this like really, really hokey path. But the thing is, so isn't that what art is? Isn't it invoking the emotions, having people like love your work, hate your work, I mean, because I've always said the worst part, the worst thing that you can get from your artwork is ambivalence.
Right.
And in the end, that's what AI work, the general AI work as we see it, is going to eventually build ambivalence. It's just another piece of content for the content mound. That's all it is. It doesn't mean anything. It's just, oh, great, 30 seconds. And it's like, but, and it's like, if you can make that person stop, they're doing this. Oh, scroll. Stop. Can you make them stop? To look at yourself, to pay attention, to feel something. So it's like, like I said, it's depressing. Yes, it's depressing. But there's always hope, insert clip of Gandalf right here.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, so it's like, what, it's like, I had one more thing to talk about, but we could save that for later, or I could save it for my Wednesday show. We'll save it for later, because it's like, now it's like we're already at the top of the hour, and it's like I still have a lot of thoughts, but you know what? I think I kind of got my point right now. But you know what? It's like, but I think in reference to the other thing that I wanted to talk about, there was this video really quick. There was this video that I saw that I really needed to hear this morning, and I just figured that everybody else could hear this too. So just before we go, here's the thought. It's not about AI or anything, but I think it was just something, like I said, I needed to hear it this morning, and I think everybody needs to hear it too.
When someone criticizes me, I do this exercise for Marcus Aurelius. He says, think about this person. Think about what they just submitted to. Think about who they are. Think about what they're addicted to. Think about what they've ever accomplished. And what you realize is that this person whose opinion you were about to let supersede your own evaluation of yourself and your work is actually worse than meaningless. They're like the opposite of who you're trying to be. So it's good that they don't like what you're doing. You don't want their approval. Focus on what you think. Focus on who you want to be. As he says, we love ourselves more than other people, but then for some reason we care about other people's opinions more than our own. That's insanity. You got to focus on who you are, on your own internal scorecard, on your sense of self. That's what you measure yourself against, not the nonsense of other people, not the worthless opinions, these people who, quite frankly, you don't respect anyway.
Huh. Word.
So like I said, that wasn't related to anything that we were talking about before, but it was something that I saw this first thing this morning, and it's like, you know what? I needed this, so I figured everyone needed it too. So So any final thoughts, Nita, on any of this?
I'm just like, I don't want a cigarette.
Right.
I don't want to vape. What the fuck is wrong with me?
And you don't want an Oreo.
That's all in my head right now. Like, seriously. You know what? Sugar's not even the fucking problem. Mm-hmm. Like, seriously. Letting go of sugar is not an issue right now. But
the least of your
parting ways with nicotine is tough shit, bro.
Right. Well, it's gonna take a bit, but well done for making it this far. So
Everyone is still alive in my household.
There you go. That's the important part. So thank you everybody in the chat for joining us today. Thank you to the 9 people who still stuck it out with us for the entire hour next to my giant eyeball. Thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, so that's it for me on this Monday. I hope everyone has like a really excellent day today. Enjoy your day off if you have it. If not, I hope your day at work goes peacefully, quickly, so that you can get home as soon as possible. So yeah, so thank you again so much. Yeah, if you want to learn more about me and my artwork and everything else, you can head on over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com, EGOWRKS, where you can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites. But I mostly post to Facebook if you're interested in seeing sketches and current work in progress, maybe a peek at the last 2 variant covers that I still have to do. Facebook is the place to see them first. So, and also remember that you can check out all my videos here on YouTube at my channel at Daphne Lage Art, LAGE, which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. So make sure that you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you get notified whenever any of our shows go live. So I will see everybody on a Wednesday. Just as a reminder, on a Wednesday, this time I'm going to do a show. I skipped last week, but I really need to do another show. So join me on Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern for my live stream, 2-hour drawing live stream. We'll continue talking about whatever it is that pops into my head again. And remember, join us again on Friday at 11 a.m. where we will be launching Tall Tales, or So I Thought, the full color Tall Tales short, the first one that hopefully one of many, we'll get to doing Tall Tales in color. So join us on Friday when I will be launching that campaign. The link is in the show notes below if you want to hit the notify me button on Kickstarter so that you get notified when the campaign goes live. Also, you can read Eagle Raven, Air the First Unicorn for free, uploading every day, Monday through Friday. But if you prefer your fantasy to be more of a furry Lord of the Rings adventure, follow the link over to Tall Tales, TAILSonline.com. And not only can you read the first 20 issues of Tall Tales for free, but you can also catch up on the latest story arc, Tears of the Mother, which is also uploading every day, Monday through Friday. So again, thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you, chat. Thank you, the 9 people. Thank you, everyone from Regions Beyond. Thank you for watching us. Have a great holiday today. And in the words of the ancients, eat your food, moisturize, mind your business, and do the work. Because when you actually do the work, you never have to fake any of your accomplishments. So thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.